For a drink to be the perfect weeknight cocktail, it needs to be inexpensive, easy to make, and of course, delicious. So for me, I look no further than the Bottom Shelf Bourbon Banana Bread Old Fashioned, which probably needs a shorter title. So obviously I need to work on the name, but regardless of what we call it, it's a delicious cocktail, and it couldn't be any easier. Take a rocks glass and add 3 dashes of Peychaud's bitters, or any kind of Creole bitters. Then add 2 to 3 bar spoons of your homemade banana syrup. If you don't have a bar spoon, that's fine. As a standardized measurement, a US bar spoon is a half teaspoon. So add 1 to 1.5 teaspoons of homemade banana syrup. And this stuff is awesome. It's like liquid banana bread. Oh yeah, and you'll need to know how to make that syrup ahead of time, so let me show you. Some cocktail syrups can be expensive to make at home, but this one is basically as cheap as simple syrup and only slightly more complicated to make. So you start by combining 300 grams of sugar and 150 mils of hot water and stir until it's completely dissolved. This is a 2-to-1 simple syrup because you have twice as much sugar as hot water. Then, once it's cooled, add an 1/8 teaspoon ground cinnamon and the peels of 4 bananas. Let that infuse for 24 hours in the fridge before you strain out the banana peels and bottle it up and keep it in the fridge until you're ready to use it. Now, you do not need to specially peel 4 bananas in order to make this syrup. You can save the peels from bananas as you eat them over the course of a few days. Just save them in an airtight container in the fridge. Of course, make sure that whatever peels you're going to use are clean and free of mold or any other contaminants. I adapted this recipe from Leandro over at The Educated Barfly, who in turn got it from a book by Claire Sprouse called Outlook Good. I would encourage you to go check out both of them through the links in the video description. So, like I said, this syrup is super easy to make. It has a ton of uses as a replacement for simple syrup, particularly in rum cocktails. But really, you could try it in anything you want. But where were we? Ah yes, so we've got our bitters and our syrup in the glass. Now it's time to add 2 ounces of cheap bourbon. And I do mean cheap here. Anything too tasty is going to blow out the banana flavor, so don't be afraid to think bottom shelf here, guys. Add some ice and give it a stir to combine, chill, and dilute the cocktail. Now, if you want to make this a banana Sazerac, I keep some absinthe in a little dropper bottle, and I like to add just a little on the inside of the rim of the glass and let it run down the sides onto the top of the cocktail. It's like rinsing the glass in that it creates the same effect, but you use less absinthe to get the bouquet on the nose since you're adding it in post-production, so to speak. Then, if you've got the energy, and remember this is a weeknight cocktail, so not necessary, but if you've got the energy, pull a lemon peel over the drink and give it a wrap around your bar spoon and then drop it on top. And that's the Bottom Shelf Bourbon Banana Old Fashioned, or whatever we're going to end up calling it. Alright, so I've showed you guys the recipe, now it's time to taste it. So the banana syrup does come through, but it's not super powerful, and this is why it's perfect to use with some sort of a bottom shelf or cheap bourbon. I obviously still haven't figured out the title, so let me know your ideas down in the comments below, and if you guys give it a try, I would love to hear your feedback. Thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe and like if you enjoyed it. If you didn't like it, hit the dislike button and comment down below why you think it's a trash drink. Cheers.